Welcome back to another review by Zombie. And we got a double banger for you this time because I'm going to review two things, and the first one being the Evod. I know everybody's been waiting for this one. Okay, and then the second one, I got a juice that I'm going to put in the Evod, and that one I won off of a show from Quest Vaping, and it's a Ginger's E-Juice, and it just happens to be Hawaiian Punch. So, we got Hawaiian Punch and we got the Evod. Now, the Evod was actually sent to me by the good folks at Sun Vapors. So, big shout out to Sun Vapors for sending me the Evod to demo. Thank you very much for that. And here we go. So, let's go ahead and take the Evod out of the package here. And we'll take a bigger look at it. So, the Evod actually comes like this, straight out of the package. This is what the Evod looks like. And the Evod is an ego thread, just like that. It's a bottom coil and it's a Kanger product. And you cannot put your own drip tip on it because it has a wide mouth. I guess you could say drip tip piece, but it's a mouthpiece. And all the Evods that I've seen are all clear mouthpieces. So. And they all have viewing ports. This one here just happens to be, I guess you could say, ruby red or maybe blood red. I prefer to stick with ruby red though. And when I say bottom coil, you basically you unscrew the bottom and your coil is in here. Now this is actually separates into two pieces, and I'll show you that here in a second. But you're going to fill your juice up upside down in here, your viewing port like that. And basically, when you fill your juice up, you're going to fill it up to that point right there, the silver point where the metal meets the window. Yeah. So, that's the main body of the Evod. Now, the thing about the Kanger products is, and this is the trick that everybody uses, and this is something that you should do with a Kanger product, okay? Whether it be a T3, a T2, an MT2, an MT3, an Evod, a Pro Tank, doesn't matter. Any of the Kanger products, okay? What you do is, with the Kanger Evod or the Pro Tank bottom coil, because the Evod and the Pro Tank are in a classification of their own. They are not in any way similar to the T2 or T3, or the MT2 or the MT3, okay? Now, the reason why I say this is, you cannot take an MT3 or T3, that bottom coil section, and put it on an Evod or Pro Tank and expect it to hold right, because you'll leak juice. Okay, I've tried it, doesn't work. But let's get back to the Evod. Now, one thing you can do with the Kanger products, and this is what everybody else does, to get the performance right, and I cannot for the life of me figure out why Kanger does this. There's too many wicks that sit on top of the coil on these bottom coils. So you have to remove this junction point, this post right here, where the wicks sit on top of the coil. So let's do that right now. I'll show you how to do that. Basically, I'm going to take this plastic piece off here, just like so, okay? And you're going to jimmy free this post piece here, just like that, okay? You see, yep, just like that. And now you can see the wicks that are sitting on top of that coil, okay? So you're going to want to remove two of them. Just 2 of them, just like that. Okay. Hell, I've seen some Kanger products where it'd be up to 6 wicks on these things. That's ridiculous. So, in this one here, that's all that we need. Okay, just that right there. Okay. Now, we just took and maximized the performance on this. Okay, so we took it from like 50% and boosted it to 100%. Now you're going to take that post and you got to jimmy it back in there. Now there's little notches on this post that you got to line back up with the holes. It's a little tricky to do it first, but you can line it up and then you got to push it back in place. So let's see. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Now, the other thing about these bottom coils is they're interchangeable. Okay. So the thing that I mean about that is you can unscrew the whole coil piece, okay, just like that, and it comes out from that bottom shaft. Okay. So that's what you're left with, the whole coil piece there. All right. And some vapors did send me a couple of replacement coils because I do have 2 Evods, so I've been testing the other one, and the Evod is great. It's a hell of a good product. So you take this and you put it back into the bottom shaft there. Just screw it back into place. Make sure you screw it tightly, because if you don't, there's going to be juice that gets through there and it'll leak out and it'll get down into your battery section. No good. So then you get that little plastic piece, you're going to put it back on that post. It is important that you put that plastic piece back on there. Just like so. Just like that. Right there. And that's what you're left with for that. Okay, now, Ginger's E-Juice Hawaiian Punch. Let's open this up and take a look at it. Comes in a nice glass bottle. And Ginger always puts the date that she makes it on the box. So you see there, the birth date was on March 31st. So I've been letting it steep for a while. And my rule of thumb on juices is, when you get an e-liquid, whatever the birth date on that e-liquid was, let it steep for at least a week. That way the flavor comes to full term. Now, if you want the flavor to be even better, let it go longer. I've actually got some juices that I've been letting steep for months. So just imagine what those taste like. Pretty good. So, anyways, and Ginger also takes her bottles and she puts the plastic wrap on the top area here. So she does pretty good with this. So see? Really good company. But it's an eyedropper bottle, just like so. Just like that there, see? Ooh, that smells great. Okay, so what you want to do is, you're going to get you a big eyedropper full of that Hawaiian Punch, and you're going to take your Evod in the window, and you're going to drip it down the side. You're going to fill it up to where it gets to that metal point that I was talking about. Okay. Now let's see if I can show you this here. I don't know if you can see the liquid level in there or not, but you don't want to go any higher than that, because if you do, it's going to get in that center chamber and it's going to leak out onto your hands, and that's not going to be too pleasant. So then you're going to take this bottom coil area, put it in the center there, screw it into place, and there you have it. Okay, so then you just take, and I always take after I put the juice in there and I shake it up. Let it sit for a minute. And this particular Hawaiian punch is, see on the label there, it'll focus in. Ah, come on. Is 80-20 at 24 milligrams. Now, if you go to SunVapor's website and you get a price check on what the Evod costs, which I'm going to look up for you right now. I should have did that earlier. The Evod retails at SunVapor's for $4.49 right now. It's on sale, and they have all the colors available for it. Plus, it holds 1.7 milliliters of juice. So, as I showed you, it just takes 1.7 milliliters of juice. So $4.49, that's a great bargain at SunVapor's. Now, I'm going to put that on my E-Cig battery by Joytech. And it's a standard resistance of 2.5 ohms. That's what the coil comes in, you know, that's already in there. Now you can get you can get different coils for it, and they also sell those at SunVapor's. Now, another thing I just want to give you a warning about is when you go to put these on your battery, make sure that you do that from the base and don't do it from up here, especially when you take it off, because when you do, chances are the base is going to stick to your battery, and you go to do that, you're going to get juice all over the place. Messy. I've seen people do it. It's not great. So let me go ahead and turn this on. Okay. So here it is. We got the Kanger Evod filled with 1.7 milliliters of Ginger's Hawaiian Punch at 24 milligrams on a 2.5 ohm coil on my E-Cig by Joytech. That's a lot to say. So let's check out the performance. Love the taste of this juice. And wham, white out. So as you can see, the Evod performs exceptionally well. So if you can see that the Evod performs exceptionally well, just imagine what the Pro tank is going to perform like. So I'm going to give the performance on the Evod a 9 out of 10. Now, Ginger's E-Juice Hawaiian Punch, really good taste. It tastes just like Hawaiian Punch. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Now let's check the throat hit. Okay, so the throat hit, it's got a little bit of harshness as it goes down, and it's not like real harsh, but it's that kind of harshness that, like, and I would imagine that's because it's probably because the PG level is a little high, but that's okay. It's warm going down, and it's warm coming back up, but that's to be expected because it's a fruity flavor, so there's no coolness going on there. But it does work well in conjunction with the taste because it brings out that fruitiness. So I'm going to give the throat hit, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Now let's check that vapor production. Now, a lot of folks will tell you, especially reviewers, that the vapor production depends on your personal setup. Now, yeah, okay, I agree with that, but it also depends on your VG content, which is part of the juice. Okay, and this particular juice has 20% VG content, so we got to keep that in mind. Okay, and it also depends on how hot you're running your personal setup too. So being that this is on just a regular E-Cig, we're not running it that hot. So let's check the vapor production. Lots and lots of vapor. So as far as the vapor production goes, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. So there you have it. The Evod, as well as Ginger's E-Juice Hawaiian Punch, one from Sun Vapors and the other from Ginger's. A hell of a double banger. So I hope you enjoyed my review, and a big shout out to Sun Vapors, as well as a big shout out to Ginger's. So please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and as always, yeah, happy vaping.